Hi there everybody, today we are going to look at reflections. Okay, so reflections is when you basically create a mirror image through a given reflection line or across a line. Alright, so the image should always be the same distance away from the guide line given, and of course it would flip over. Alright, so if you're asked to reflect something, and of course you can ask for tracing paper, nothing wrong with that in an exam, and you're going to take the shape that you've currently got and literally flip it over. Okay, so to use tracing paper, trace the shape with the mirror line. All right, so you kind of put it on. All right, so trace the paper and the mirror line. And then having the mirror line there is quite important, because obviously when you kind of flip it over, you know where to put the line again. And then flip the piece of paper over. So when you flip the piece of paper over, the mirror line needs to stay where it was, and of course it's going to go to the side. And you'll notice that distance and that distance are both the same, and you can see a clear reflection in the other. All right, and you might also want to basically just put a little dot on the middle of your line, just so that you know exactly where to kind of put it back, so it doesn't kind of miss a line or anything like that. But ultimately, there you go. That is reflection in the line, and that's where it needs to go. All right, and copy the shape where your reflection has put it. If you are asked to find the equation of a mirror line, all right, so this is about equation of a line more than anything else. So there are probably another lesson looking at equation of a line. So please look at that particular one. What we've got is a vertical line take in the form x equals, and a horizontal line making the form y is equal to. All right, so I'll give you an example from this one. So this line going down here is when all your x values of the coordinates are 1. All right, so your x equals 1, 1, and then you've got 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. All your x values are 1. So this line represents x equals 1. Okay, this line over here, this is when your x values of your coordinates are always 5. So you say x equals 5. And then, of course, horizontal ones taking the form y equals 0. So you've got y equals 2, and then you've got y equals 4, and so on and so on and so on. So it seems a little bit the wrong way around, but actually what you've got here is your height is always basically 4, your height is always 2, and again, your x value here is always 5, and your x value there is always 1, which is why it's kind of written that way around. Okay. So you've got one other one, and again, this is one that's worth noting, is that if I look at coordinates, you've got 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Well, your y and your x coordinates are both the same. So that line is y equals x. It's kind of a unique one, which you need to be aware of. Okay. So if I say example, reflect the shape in the line x equals 3. Well, the first thing I currently need is the line x equals 3, which is going to go down your x3 value, which is there. So I need to plug that in, and then reflect it over. So it's very similar to the one you've done before. All right, but of course, without the reflection given the actual line, then you'd struggle to do it. All right, because you wouldn't know where it was. All right, and again, the idea of saying x equals 3 tends to fit on your graph, certainly in an exam. Right, so once you've got to describe a reflection, so you're going to be given a shape and a reflected shape, and then from there, say describe the transformation. Well, it's been reflected, because we're doing reflections anyway, but what line has it been reflected in? All right, so it's this line that's been reflected in. So this line is y equals 3. So you would say the shape has been reflected, 1 point, in the line y equals 3. All right, so you need to get both those kind of things. So reflection in lines y equals 3. Okay, and that's reflections. So please do go to maths-school.co.uk, go on to some of the kind of questions and practice. All right, and of course, if you need to come back to this and revisit the video, then please feel free. Thanks for listening.